Hello and welcome back to yet another CPU video. This time we're taking a look at the i5-2500k, a CPU that I've tried to review 3 times now, but I've not been able to make it to the quality that I want. But I need to upload this someday, so here we are. First up, let's go over the specs of this CPU. With 4 cores and 4 threads, it's not too far behind the modern i5. It runs at 3.3 GHz base and 3.7 GHz with turbo boost. It is also a well-known overclocker, so if you have one, be sure to take advantage of that. The 2500k was one of the first CPUs I've ever bought, and it performed great at the time for the price. I did upgrade to the 3770k a while later, and I wanted to sell the i5, but here we are almost 8 years later, and I still haven't sold it. So here is my video about it. And in this video, we're going to go over the general system performance, gaming performance, and of course looks. Well, you'll be looking at it. So anyway, let's move over to system performance. Desktop performance is just as I expected. It's good for use with daily tasks and gaming. It's not perfect, however. For example, when I was watching YouTube videos on my secondary monitor, performance was noticeably slower, and when autoplaying the next one, there was a big lag spike almost every single time. So I would advise not using that feature when you're clutching in CSGO or something like that. Other than that, I don't have any complaints when using it. You do need to manage your expectations, of course, especially when it comes to video editing or similar. Personally, I don't have a big rush most of the time, so for me it's fine. I tested the same games as I usually test, which are CSGO, Rocket League and F1. And it did surprisingly well for what I was expecting. Let's check out the performance for each game. First up is CSGO, which we all know isn't that hard to run. And I can confirm this as well. With an average FPS of 203, I could dual wield the AWP, which was pretty cool. In all seriousness though, it ran pretty much perfectly, so no complaints from me here. Next up was Rocket League, and I had a similar experience to CSGO here, in that it ran pretty much perfectly. You should keep in mind that this is with minimal background processes running. When I did have videos playing, it got pretty stuttery, and let's not talk about Windows updates sneaking into the mix. So if you want this CPU, you should watch out for those things. Finally, we have F1 2019. It was the hardest game to run, and it shows. It ran at 1080p ultra low settings to keep the GPU out of the picture. Well, it's in the picture because it's creating the picture, but yeah, whatever. With an average FPS of 121, it wasn't bad at all. The game did look more like F1 2012 at this point, but it really shows what the CPU can do on its own. And that is it for this time. I'm looking to make a review of my 980 Ti next, since I've upgraded my CPU and it can stretch its legs now, in most games. So if that sounds cool to you, you should leave a sub. Either way, have a nice day, and thanks for watching.